Few people are aware of this symptom that indicates a heart attack is about to happen. Did you know that knowing these symptoms can be crucial for saving lives? Especially because over 30% of heart attacks are silent, meaning they give subtle symptoms that a person doesn't notice until it's too late. Knowing that this is the leading cause of death worldwide, this video is of utmost importance for anyone who wants to take care of their heart health. Have you ever noticed that in movies, when someone has a heart attack, it's usually very dramatic? The person clutches their chest, can't breathe, feels pain, collapses. Reality couldn't be more different. Heart attack symptoms are often mild and often go unnoticed by the person. That's why this type of heart attack is called a silent heart attack. The main cause of a heart attack is the obstruction of arteries due to the buildup of fatty plaques. At some point, these plaques may rupture as a result of stress, intense physical activity, or excessive exertion. In response, the body naturally attempts to resolve this issue by forming a blood clot. When a clot forms inside an artery, which is like a tube, it can block the flow of blood either partially or completely. Without blood, the heart starts to lose oxygen and nutrients, and its cells begin to die slowly. And depending on which artery this process occurs in, the heart attack will be more or less severe. That's why some people have a heart attack and survive without major complications, while others are not as lucky. The first important point about a silent heart attack is that the person has few or no symptoms, so they don't realize what's happening. To understand how to identify a silent heart attack, we first need to understand how a heart attack normally occurs. A classic heart attack usually has these symptoms. First symptom of a classic heart attack: chest discomfort. This pain lasts longer than a few minutes, usually more than 5 minutes. It's a long-lasting, intense pain that can come and go. It can be a pressure-like pain, heaviness, tightness, or burning. The pain is because the muscle is dying. Imagine if you have a cramp and it hurts a lot. Now imagine the pain of a muscle that's dying. Second symptom of a classic heart attack: radiation of pain. In addition to feeling chest pain, the person feels discomfort in other areas of the upper body. Pain or numbness in the left arm, neck, back, jaw, stomach, both elbows. Third symptom of a classic heart attack: shortness of breath and difficulty breathing. This happens because your heart is already suffering. It's not pumping oxygen as it should. Fourth symptom of a classic heart attack: cold sweat and paler skin. Due to the pain, your body will release adrenaline, which leads the person to sweat cold and become pale. Fifth symptom of a classic heart attack: nausea and vomiting. This symptom occurs due to the vagus nerve, which carries information from the brain to the heart. Sixth symptom of a classic heart attack: dizziness. This dizziness can even lead to fainting. Now that you know the symptoms of a classic heart attack, you'll better understand how to identify a silent heart attack. One issue with this heart attack type is that its symptoms can easily be confused with less serious problems. As a result, people often ignore them. If you notice that you have more than 2 of these symptoms, don't ignore them. Seek medical help as soon as possible. First symptom of a silent heart attack: fatigue. The person may feel tired, physical discomfort, and a vague sense of unease, thinking it's due to overwork, lack of sleep, or age. Second symptom of a silent heart attack: mild chest discomfort. I mentioned that a classic heart attack has severe pain. Those who have experienced it don't forget it. Most silent heart attacks involve mild, subtle pain or discomfort in the center of the chest. The person may think it's gas, heartburn, or indigestion. Third symptom of a silent heart attack: sweating. If you're sweating without being too hot or without exercising, it's odd, and you should remember that it could be a silent heart attack. You should go to the emergency room, especially if you're diabetic. Fourth symptom of a silent heart attack: shortness of breath. If you feel exhausted after climbing a few stairs, it could be a sign of heart problems. In a silent heart attack, shortness of breath can occur without chest pain. It's common, especially in women. Perhaps that's a warning sign. You may also feel dizziness or vertigo, and it's possible you might faint. Fifth symptom of a silent heart attack: nausea. The person may think it's just indigestion, a virus, or even the flu. But nausea can be a sign of a heart attack, especially if accompanied by cold sweats, chest discomfort, or fatigue. Sixth symptom of a silent heart attack: discomfort in other parts of the body. Mild discomfort, different from a classic heart attack, can occur in the jaw, stomach, neck, and pressure in the back, or the feeling that a rope is tied and you're trapped. To give you an idea, Many people find out they had a recent silent heart attack when they go for routine exams. The person had no idea they were going through it. And remember, if you've had a heart attack before, you have a higher risk of having a second one. Did you know that half of heart attacks can be prevented with simple lifestyle changes? To drastically reduce your chances of having a heart attack, you need to pay attention to the risk factors. Keep your blood pressure under control. The ideal range is at 12/8 or lower. If you have diabetes, it's important to manage your blood sugar. Follow a healthier diet. This is a broad topic, and we have some videos on the channel discussing foods that cleanse arteries and protect the heart. But as a starting point, a 2022 study showed that people who follow the Mediterranean diet have significantly fewer heart attacks, lower cholesterol and triglyceride levels in your blood. We have various recipes on the channel to help you with this. Engage in physical exercise. Ideally, aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate physical activity per week. Get enough sleep, at least 7 hours of sleep per night. If you're overweight, it's time to take steps to lose weight. Excess weight is not only a risk factor for heart disease, but also for various other illnesses. And last but not least, pay attention to your social life and personal relationships, whether with friends or family. We now know that people who live in loneliness have a 30% higher risk of heart problems. Our channel offers a variety of videos focusing on nutrition and lifestyle, providing valuable information to help you maintain a healthy heart and prevent common diseases prevalent in our modern society. Speaking of heart health, we've selected a video specially for you which we're suggesting above. Click on the video above to learn more.